Somebody is selling your book right now. They didn't write it. They don't know you. They used AI, slapped your name on the cover, and listed it on Amazon before breakfast. This isn't hypothetical. It happened to Jane Friedman, 25 years in publishing Commentator of the Year, in August 2023. A reader bought one of the fake books, read a few pages, and thought Friedman was trying a new experiment. The book was AI-generated garbage, built from Friedman's decade of free blog posts. When Friedman tried to report it to Amazon, they told her she had no case because she hadn't trademarked her own name. That incident was the tip of something enormous. Since 2023, AI has flooded the book industry at a scale nobody predicted. There are billion-dollar lawsuits, authors whose careers are being destroyed not by AI replacing them, but by AI detectors falsely accusing them of using it. And a quiet group of self-publishers making $10,000 a month from AI-assisted books that nobody's talking about. This video is the complete picture. Scandals, legal battles, real money, real tools, and what it all means for writers in 2026. And we'll be specific. Names, numbers, cases, no vague predictions. Let's start with the numbers because they're staggering. In February 2023, roughly 200 books on Amazon openly credited ChatGPT as author. By 2025, that problem had swallowed the entire self-publishing ecosystem. The number of self-published fiction ISBNs jumped from 306,000 to 477,000 in a single year, a 56% spike. Distribution platform Draft2Digital reported submissions running 50% above historical norms with no other explanation. Kobo, one of the major ebook platforms, rejected 45% of all manuscripts submitted to its self-publishing program in 2025. Of those rejections, 80% were flagged as AI-generated. 80%. Amazon had to cap authors at 3 book submissions per day. And then in May 2025, something almost comedic happened. Readers started finding raw AI prompts accidentally printed inside published romance and fantasy novels. Literal instructions: continue the scene where the protagonist confronts her sister, sitting in the middle of chapter 4. Authors had generated the text, forgotten to delete the prompts, and published anyway. Fast Company covered it. The story spread everywhere. But here's what the outrage missed. Not everyone pushing AI books was a scammer. A growing number were working writers who had made a calculated decision. Amazon KDP paid out $2.3 billion to authors in 2025. Publishers using AI assistance and releasing 2 to 4 books per month were reporting $1,000 to $20,000 in monthly income. Each book took 30 to 45 hours to produce versus 3 to 6 months the traditional way. The math changed, and that forced every writer to make a choice. In 2025, the Authors Guild surveyed its members. The result? 87% of professional authors said they do not use AI to write. Not at all. At the same time, a Gotham Ghostwriters survey of 1,481 writers found that 61% now use AI in some capacity, with an average 31% productivity increase. 2 surveys, completely different numbers. Why? Because writers is not one group. A novelist working on her literary debut for Penguin and a self-publisher building a non-fiction catalog on Kindle are not the same profession. They don't face the same pressures, they don't use the same tools, and they don't measure success the same way. Authors including Sarah Silverman, George R.R. Martin, and John Grisham filed lawsuits against OpenAI and Meta. Michael Chabon, Gia Tolentino, Victor Laval joined class action suits. Their argument: AI companies trained their models on pirated copies of their books, pulled from illegal databases called LibGen and PyLimi, without permission and without payment. 7 million books reportedly downloaded. 7 million. And on the other side of the debate, authors like Joanna Penn, who runs one of the most popular podcasts for indie writers, said openly that AI tools had transformed her output and kept her competitive in a market that rewards volume. Penn's position: AI is a tool. The same way spell check was a tool. The same way word processors replaced typewriters. The argument sounds reasonable, until you hear what happened to one novelist in Canada in 2025, because that story changes everything. Before we get to that story, the lawsuits. In June 2025, Judge William Alsup of the Northern District of California issued a ruling that rewrote the rules. He found that using books to train AI, if those books were obtained legally, was fair use under current law. But books downloaded from piracy sites? Not fair use. That was theft. Anthropic moved to settle $1.5 billion. The largest copyright settlement in U.S. history. Roughly 500,000 eligible titles, each one receiving approximately $3,000 shared between author and publisher. Some authors took it, others didn't. In December 2025, journalist John Carreyrou, the man who exposed the Theranos scandal in his book Bad Blood, opted out. He filed new individual lawsuits against 6 AI companies simultaneously: Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, Meta, xAI, and Perplexity, seeking $150,000 per title, per defendant. The math on that claim is deliberate. It is not about $3,000. It is about accountability. And in March 2026, the U.S. Supreme Court confirmed only humans can hold copyright. AI cannot own what it creates. The legal picture in 2026: AI can be trained on books. AI can generate books, but AI cannot own them. And if it was built on stolen work, there is a price. The law is catching up. Slowly. Imperfectly. But for one author in Canada, the law arrived too late. In 2025, a Canadian novelist named Ballard submitted a manuscript to her publisher, Hachette, one of the largest publishing houses in the world. The manuscript was flagged by AI detection software. Hachette rejected it. Ballard says she wrote the book herself, entirely. The publisher stood by the software. Her career, according to her, was ruined. And here's the terrifying part: the detectors are wrong, constantly. A 2025 study found that AI text, when trained to mimic a specific author's voice, was detected as AI only 3% of the time. 3%. Meanwhile, some human-written prose, dense, formal, heavily researched, was being flagged as machine-generated. One industry professional put it this way: the best AI detector in the world is a good editorial process. Read that again. We built tools to catch AI writing. The tools are failing. Real authors are being falsely accused. And the flood of low-quality AI books is making it harder for readers to trust anything, including books that are genuinely, entirely human. This is the real crisis. Not that AI writes books, but that we can no longer tell who did. So what do the people actually making money use? The most common tools are the large language models most people already know: ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. For fiction writing specifically, Pseudowrite and Novel Crafter have developed serious followings among authors who want more control than a general chatbot offers. For nonfiction and business books, Jasper AI dominates. For end-to-end self-publishing, from outline to formatted ebook to narrated audiobook, platforms like Influence. AI compress what used to take months into a single day. The workflow that's producing consistent income looks like this: 2 to 3 hours of AI-assisted research, 1 to 2 hours outlining, 15 to 25 hours drafting with AI help, then 10 to 15 hours of human editing, voice, and fact-checking. Total, 30 to 45 hours per book. One publisher, Spines, announced plans to release up to 8,000 AI-assisted books per year, 3 weeks per manuscript, $5,000 per title in production cost. That's a volume no traditional publisher can match. The ceiling for catalog-based self-publishers: 30-plus books, well-optimized keywords, $3,000 to $15,000 per month in passive royalties. Investment: $50 to $100 per month in tools. But, and this matters, every credible source agrees on one thing. The books making money combine AI speed with genuine human expertise. The ones that fail are the ones that skip the human part. Quality is still the moat. So where does this leave writers in 2026? The 87% who do not use AI are still the professional standard. Literary fiction, memoir, serious nonfiction. Human voice is not optional. The 13% who do, the smart ones are using AI to go faster, not to go missing. Their expertise is real. Their editing is real. The AI just handles the draft. And for readers, if a book's voice sounds consistent in the sample and falls apart by chapter 3, that is your tell. Inconsistency is what AI cannot fully hide. The writers who will disappear are not the ones being replaced by AI. They are the ones who refuse to understand what was happening around them. You just did.